Isn't that funny? Might be the truth, but not funny. Right, the next storyteller, titled Those Curveballs, Amanda Foo-Ryland.
Thank you. We've all had those curveballs. Everybody in the room, that rings a bell. Everybody in the room has had a curveball. My curveballs have come quite fast and furious in the last 5 years, and it namely is a kidney being removed because it had cancer in it. There's now a little dinosaur there, a little tattoo of a T-Rex, because this one's extinct. I also lost my husband a year after to the same disease. And then I married a woman. That's beautiful. It's our 7-year anniversary today. 7 years, 7 days, 7th month, and 2023 adds up to 7. And yet it came with a curveball, but I want to share with you the first time my curveball hit. I was 19 years old. I worked in Rackham's Bradford selling lipsticks for Estee Lauder. I earned £90 a week, and I had been saving up all year to go to Cyprus for 2 whole weeks with my hot boyfriend, who was a fireman, exactly like in the calendars. And I was so excited I'd been packing my suitcase for literally a month. There was a Sony Walkman in Boots that I wanted to buy. It was 20 quid. I couldn't afford it. I thought, well, that's all right. You know, can just take one of those ghetto blasters on the beach, and that'll be annoying for everybody. But we're all ready, and it's Friday night. I've finished work. I'm going on holiday tomorrow morning for 2 whole weeks. I arrive home. I'm still living at home with my parents. I'm 19 years old. My little sister, 10 years younger than me, and my little brother, 2 years younger than me, we're all having dinner around the table. Now, Friday nights were very special in our house. It was called board night. What that meant was I'd come in and my dad would go, "Hey up, love, it's 10 quid tonight, it's board night." And I said, "All right, Dad." Normally, here's the 10 quid. But I'm like, "Oh, Dad, I think you've forgotten. Tomorrow, I'm going to Cyprus with John, on holiday." "Well, love, I'm sorry." He said, "You can't, not how life works. You can't just ring up the bank manager and say, 'Oh, Mr. Bank Manager, I'm really sorry, I can't pay my mortgage, I'm going on holiday.' And if you're renting an apartment, you can't ring up your landlord and say, 'I can't pay me rent.' It's not how it works, love. And by the way, you've just reminded me, you're going away for 2 weeks, so it's 20 quid you owe me." Well, yes, thank you. The knife and fork was slammed down. I was livid. And I stormed out of the dining room, and we had one of those wooden doors that's got wood at the bottom and those glass panels at the top. It was a long time ago. I wanted to slam that door as hard as I could and just smash, ever so tinily, one of those plates. But we had a shag pile carpet, and it kind of went like this. Shh, not the desired effect. I got into my little car, and I drove as quickly as I could to my boyfriend's house, John. We sat down. I was that angry, I ordered a bitter lemon and ice. And we concocted a plan. When we got back from Cyprus, I was going to move in with him, and that'd show him. So I got home late at night. I wanted to make sure everyone was in bed, and they were. I timed it perfectly. I snuck in. Even Tinker, the little dog, was curled up in his basket. I snuck down the corridor, went into the bathroom, got myself ready, and I went up to my attic room, really smug with myself. And then, as I turned on the bedroom light, there was an envelope on my pillow, and it said, "Room for rent." I thought to myself, are they kidding me? They've written a bloody advert, and they want me to read it. My parents are crazy. So I ripped the envelope open, furious, and I looked at the letter, and it said, "Room for rent. All your washing and ironing done, all your meals prepared, a little puppy to play with, a brother and sister to love. Sleepovers, barbecues, Christmases and birthdays. A shoulder to cry on. Always advice when you need it. And always, always unconditional love. And all for the price of £10 a week." So I'm reading the letter, and there are tears streaming down my face, dripping off my chin. I went running downstairs. I knocked on the bedroom door and heard this, "Come in, love." They were both sat up in bed, drinking the cups of tea. And Dad turned to me and he went, "Told you it'd work, love." And he said, "Have you got my 20 quid? And I said, Dad, I'm so sorry. I just didn't get where you were coming from. I went on holiday with John, and remember, I'd been packing a suitcase for an entire month. And as I'm unpacking my clothes, folded up in one of my T-shirts was an envelope. It said money for holiday. It'd been there for ages. There was £10 in it. My first curveball was very, very small, but it gave me a lesson for life. And one thing I can absolutely guarantee about the curveballs I've experienced, and I'd have to ask you to look at yours. Out there in the future, even if you don't know now, it comes bearing gifts. Thank you.
Wow. So that's a little taster of the talent that we were looking at and the judges had to judge against. We've got 2 more of them later on, but we're going to get into a couple of the awards for a moment. We'll get back to them. The other 2 will be back on later.